Assalamu alaikum badingolu ngali konton koten kedron kal hakilo bulandi ko albe Gambia Talents TV le jibe ka alnal badi mal fatu jadama kon data kalale nyamen doron kol men yalon ko wolle be kerim banko kandro kana mol kumande nan ni singa kacha nga jibe mbe solution kala ko wolle nyaadi binak be jumale jiala na studio kono wala Tobaski la wax na assalamu alaikum rek ma bayla nga nuyo mbokay.
Well, Mala Santa de la Grim de la News, the entire team, the entire staff of Gambia Talents TV. The news full of Sisi Rankati, Likodore Banjul Bakoina, the Wahni, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikum assalam. Tobaski ñu ngi la dalal fi nga xamne moy Gambia Talents TV yow di la wax ne bismillah su waxtaan bi fu ko jublu rek lepp lo xamne mu ngi xew ci réew mi current issues yi nga xamne mo nekk di dox Gambia gis nañ ne watu bi rek ñi nga xamne ñoy ndawe mandinaring am nañ jafe-jafe lool ak waa ñi nga xamne ñoy PIU kon yow luy sa gis-gis nga xamne sa yu nekk protest amee rek da nga gis xale yu góor yi wala ndaw yi wala magi sax dañ dee jéem a protest waaye dañ dee gis ne mujjee bi daf dee am between PIUs and the youths daf dee am fight foofu noonu seen diggante.
waaw loolu moom sama ko laajtee dinaa sawar trop pour war see mun a am tontu parce que umpale wu ne Gambia ñun ñëpp ñoo ko bokk. muy ndaw yi muy police yi muy whosoever that yow Gambian nga am wàll si réew mi. te luwa mo ne dañ wara am police officers yu wara protect security askan bi muy citizens yi but security officers sam buñ faté ne di same loi bobu non dafa am guarantee ci jox citizens yi moy citizens yi dañ am seen own right to assembly dañ am seen own right pour wax seen ñaar te gis na ne tamit ñun li fi xewon previous government bi fi nekkon ñun ñep gis nañ ne loolu yëpp bokkoon na si lu Gambien yi doon ñaan foofu ñu am wéccu si la demee noonu parce que dafa important tey soo nekkee doomi réew war nga mun a moom waxtaanee sa réew wax sa xalaat si réew mi soo mel la naxari war ngeen a peacefully assemble ni mane seen ñaxare wante li war a dem ba ndaw di si war a ñaaka bakkenam si loxo ñan not si moromam yi ñoo daanu si kom wala ay sajakat wala ay samba boy bon ñi nga xamante ne tey ñoom ñoo ko war na protect sax moom pour bu ñàkk bakkanam ba mu ñàkkee bakkanam si loxo ñooñu so Adama Barrow nguuram foog naa joxoon nañ leen millions of dollars from the European Union pour security sector reform so loolu waroon naa nekk fànn bi nga xam ne nguur gi waroon naa mën a gën a educate suñu police officers yi even though am nañ well educated officers but still tamit man gëm naa ne education wi police officers yi day war a am pour war a jàkkaarloo ak seen moromi citizens yi man gëm naa ne still dafa des parce que lan moo war a gën a ñaaw yow nga war a tiimu sa moromi Gambian yi nga xamante ne ni dañ am lu leen naxari ñu gën a si mbedda bi nga dóor leen tear gas emut si nga daaxee leen bakkan ki ñàkk bakkanam si loxo police yi li si gën a ñaawlu wala lu si gën a ñaaw tamit mooy nga war a gis police officer yi ñuy génnee press release di wax ne ndaw boo xam ne mu ngi wér keng he is in good shape football la mu ngi fit dara jotut ko bo amul boppa bu ko miiti ngeen ne dafa daw rek mu daanu mu dee loolu tey na xel understand te man gëm naa ne ñaawlu naa press release bi nga xam ne moom la police force bi génne parce que we were expecting much better inclusive transparent press release waroon nañoo mën a wax ne ñu ngi try pour investigate pour xam lan moo waral day ndaw bi parce que ndaw la nguur gi moo ko war a protect life bi mu ñàkk si loxo police yooyu noonu tey ñoo ko waroon a fekk place bu mu war a ñàkkee bakkanam ñu sowee ko not muy ñàkk bakkanam si seen loxo understand waaw te loolu nekk na loo xam ne concern bu mag la for Gambians because at the end of the day change bi noonu laajte ñun Gambien yi am neen change bi loolu la Gambien yi war a laajte seen bopp benn muy si security sector reform bi te da ngaa gis nit da ngaa tëdd sa cabinet ñu ne sàcc ka dafa ñaay ba sa biir cabinet fekk la sa kaw lal rey la façon kiis yooyu yëpp gis nañ ko fi jamante bi xam nga so there are lot of things ñu gis ne police brutality ba léegi génn fi because at the end of the day gisoon neen team gum sa boppa bi mu génnee pour affaire yi pure bi gars yi yokkee seen data fees yi right citizen si la suñu gisee ne ñoom price bi gars yi yokk am méngoot ak ñoom luñ expect from the government seen civic right la pour ñu génn ñu demonstrate peacefully te di seen loi bu ne soo waree mobilize soo waree fekkee ne da nga bëgg a organise a procession da nga need permit di seen loi boobu noonu tamit moo wax ne citizen bi am na right pour peaceful assembly so lan mooy peaceful assembly soo seetee Adama Barrow mu ngi pass loi bu es 2025 moom define na lan mooy peaceful assembly benn mu ne soo leen nekkee more than 3 people wante jox la specific number ne da ngeen war a nekk 20 or 30 mu ne if you are more than 3,000 is more than 3 10,000 is more than 3 but dafa ne su fekkee ne da ngeen dajale seen boppa in a peaceful assembly format waru leen a use regulative statement waru leen a use rhetorics or divisive words or ngeen nekk di saaga so da ngaa gis ne li ñu war a laajte mooy ndax team gëm sa boppa biñu demee Pura dañ doon saaga wala dañ doon xaste seen placard lan téye ne data bi niñ ko yokkee méngawut ak yoon cause on any public disturbance because duñ mun a wax ne tam foofu private property la because nguur gi moo fa nekk di fay tax moo fa nekk di fay rent so bokkatut ina doo mun a wax ne dañ trespass so peaceful assembly right citizen bi la it is guaranteed in the constitution ne nit ki mun ngeen a peacefully mobilize seen boppa in a peaceful manner ngeen conduct seen boppa in a respectful way ngeen demonstrate peacefully without ngeen cause havoc or disorder so leen cause disorder ngeen jël xeer di sànni rek ama mandate yi peaceful assembly bi violate ngeen ko léegi nekkatut a peaceful assembly c'est an illegal assembly because su fekkee ne da nga need permit dafa am criteria benn criteria bi mooy su fekkee ne da nga nekk di mobile di move from place A point A to point B xam nga da nga need security nekku ne comme police yi ñoo la wala waaw wala déedéet nekku ne police yi ñoo la war a jox permit police yi soo gisee permit bi pour ñu provide security for the organisers la yaa ngi move from Westfield to traffic light yaa ngi obstruct traffic bi da nga nit police officers yu faa nekk yi tax yéen ak moto yi doo leen laalante loolu mooy responsibility police yi moo tax nga war a apply pour permit second li ñu ne su fekkee yaa ngi use a musical set because soo use a musical set is public disturbance yaa ngi make noise amaana am nañu feebar ñu ngi tëdd wala leneen ak leneen ñeneen mun nañoo ne ngeen fay ay jàngaa nekk si biir kër gi mun naa indi problème so ñu ne da ngeen need permit pour su fekkee da ngeen naa use loudspeaker or da ngeen naa move from point A to point B boobu requirements yi dafa need permit xam nga pour maintain order pour make sure yéen seen demonstration bi or seen procession bi ngeen naa def di move from point A to point B nit du mun a dugg si biir mais bi opposition la oo leneen pour ñu seen oppose la pour war a daanu seen kaw but not ne police bi is the authority pour war a wax waaw wala déedéet buñ fàtte what is the responsibility of the police to maintain law and order so law bi su ne war nañu assemble peacefully who is the police to say that we don't have that mandate loolu du seen responsibility ñoom politicians will design laws will pass it into an act gars gazette ko mu nekk loi ñoom lu ñu war a def mooy ñu implement ko so why is it that su fekkee ne citizens yi ñu ngi act on their own constitutional rights why is it that police yi ñu ko war a violate but daf laa delloowaat back to the main idea behind the police which is loo war a laajte mooy tey who is the IGP you get it ñu joxe a little bit of background check up on kan mooy IGP buñ fàtte commissioner la woon in immigration because he is married to the president's sister ñu jëlee ko from commissioner ñu appoint ko as the director general of immigration emun si loolu there are other competent individuals yi nga xam ne they were deputy IGs the likes of Landing Bojang the likes of Sow and the rest waaye ñooñu promote leen ñu def leen IG what did they do they politically maneuver things ñu gis ne ñooñu they are not loyal to the country or they are not loyal to the state laajte wu ndax they are competent enough parce que kuy war a serve in the police force ba nga war a dem nekk ay DIG you are well competent enough to serve in all capacities ba nga pour nekk deputy IG but what they were looking for is politically motivated ñu ngi seet who is loyal to the president or who is very very close to the president mu jaral leen ñu jëlee nit from immigration ñu yóbbu ko police as inspector general of police so lii yëpp nekk na loo xamante ne is nepotism Gambia we are not yearning for a country whereby head ak kan moo gën a jege nguur ñooñu la ñoo teg si place we are talking about competence so lii yëpp nekk na ay problèmes yoo xam ne bokk na si lu gën a gàllankoor doxali réew mi ak sécurité réew mi ak lu yóbbu réew mi ci kanam.
Thank you Tobaski waxtaan bi rafet na trop naka nga gisee président Barrow waxami bu mujjee noonu joxe ngaaral kaadu depuis boy bi bu mu gaañoo fi nga xam ne mooy Mandina rek ñu noonu di wax site yooyu noonu naka nga gisee wax boobu noonu.
waa président bi bépp Gambien bu dee war naa génn mu wax.
ok
bon dama la jox classical exemple gis nañ fi gaal boo xam ne mu jógee woon Bakaw. gaal bi muy diggee woon mu tane over 50 something youths ñoo dee Bakaw ndax président bi génn na mu joxe statement. Gis nañ fi gaal bu jógee woon Barra mu ngi diggee diggante Mauritanie ak Sénégal more than 60 something ndaw dee fa. ndax président bi génn na mu joxe statement defut ko because of election mu si kona bi.
so da nga foogoon ne election mu si kona bi loolu moo tax président bi jéem na mu address nation.
moo tax mu génn mu address nation emut si loolu moo tax mu yónni minister of interior pour mu demal ko Bakaw. moo tax président bi bu 50 youths of Bakaw yi dee la moo tax yónni wut advisors am or the minister of interior himself mu dem mu jaale ndaw yooyu noonu. because they all died under his watch. moom ñàkk a doxalin réew mi ni mu ko war a yóbbee moo tax ndaw yi di dugg si ay gaal di dem di dee si géej si àll bi te ndaw yi suñu dee noonu dafa saat lu mel ni président réew mënuloo taxaw nga wax ne am ndaw yu dee Mauritanie ambassadeur bi mu ngay try pour faciliter naka lañ naa suuli pour record fan lañ jógee ak nañ tuddee nga xam ne ñu ngi àndoon ID yi seen poche yi pour président bi defut loolu because nga defut loolu parce que su génnee ne am na gaal bu koppu Mauritanie am na gaal bu koppu Sénégal dafa foog ni ñi dañoo ne because of doxaluloo ni nga war a doxalee sa ministry of youth and sport is not doing the needful. So gaal yi kon ndaw yi dañ dee baag so yow yaay yow so is politically motivated but dafa important pour any Gambian bu dee président bi war naa mun a génn ku dee si deewin bu ñaaw wala deewin bu métti lii di géej lii di laka-laka lii di accident bu serious man dama gëm ne président bi war naa mun a génn wax ne diw ak diw ak diw deene because another thing mooy président bi is the most informed individual in the country. xale bu ndaw suñ ko réewee sax borset dañ déewul brief him ne am na xale bu ñu réer Serekunda all the serious crimes dañ ko dee jox every morning briefing on nit yu fi dee ñaata nit ñoo dee kan lañ jam kan lañ sàcca dee yi xew si biir réew bi yëpp moom moo ñu ko di njëkk a ñun balaa media bi di ko kacop so why is it that président bi he cherry picks ñan la moo jàlle ak ñan la warut a jàlle lu toll 50 something youths dee Bakaw génn loo nga jàlle leen but because of ndaw yi ñu ngi xeex ak police yi nga ne da nga génn di read a statement but waxuloo luy war a saafaral loolu noonu condemn loo police brutality waxuloo kañ nga implement security sector reform so lii yëpp nekk na concerns yoo xam ne daf laa woon rek how sad Gambia li doon expect from Adama Barrow is yet to be implemented.
Tobaski naka nga gisee économie réew mi.
waaw économie réew mi soo ma si laajtee dinaa sawar trop pour tontu si. because at the end of the day su fekkee ne suñ finance ministry bi Barrow dafa dem appoint koo xam ne auditor la dem appoint as finance minister. He is not an economist. so koo xam ne tey sa fere sa loo fere si sa department or in an organisation moom moo war a ñëw pour seet fere bi ndax jaar na yoon yow kooku nga jël nga appoint ko kuy war a monitor some economy bi he is not an economist he doesn't know nothing about economics so what do you expect façon ngi result bi rek la ñu am soo jëlee taxi driver nga bëgg ko dawal loo train du dem moo tax nag dalasi bi mënut a dem because in fact tech he doesn't have the capacity auditor la he is not an economist te liggéey da nga ko jox xaritam bul ko jox sa xarit Barrow bokk na si président yi nga xam ne si réew mi si sub-region bi mu ëpp advisors te ministre mi rek doyoon nañ ko advisors but ak liñ ko advice yëpp lan la gis lu wécce ko Gambia dafa waroon a mel ni fanal so ne advisor mi they were serving their purpose ministre yi su soxlee anything on youth and sport ministry of youth and sport is the best individual ku ko war a advise on policies and programs su fekkee ne affaire yi finance la or governance regarding financial dealings or what not the government naka la moo structure dalasi ak yan investment la government bi war a make this the finance minister is the right advisor su fekkee ne affaire yi infrastructure la journalist bi mu jël appoint ko minister of infrastructure Mr. Silla moo ko waroon a nekk di right individual ku ko war a advise on yan policies and programs la war a put in place pour ñu gën a defar infrastructure réew mi but guess what because journalist la appoint as the minister of infrastructure and roads gis nañ OIC bi Ibotan mu ngi float gis nañ ne yeneen gox-goxaan yi fii yëpp a ngi float because engineering yi ni ko defaree place yi yoon ma dama gëm ne even sa kër sax fu ndox dee jaar danga ko dee defal pipe so I don't know yom ban façon logic la news areas like Ibo Town Josuwang Talinding Farokono OIC bi I don't know ban façon logic la news but ndox bi defaroon ko yoon kër yaa ngi float nit ñi si biir ndox bi la ñëw tëdda so pour wala ne liggéey da nga ko jox xaritam bul ko jox sa xarit doo mën a jël ministre doo mën a jël journalist nga appoint ko minister of infrastructure def ko minister of communication or what not understand ku nekk nga jox ko aha ak yelleefam parce que ñun dañ ko yónni ba pare yàkkamti ko ñun Gambians yi dañ ko taana pour mu saaf one purpose mooy pour mu génne ñu sundool jagar réew mi ndaw yi am liggéey jigéen yi buñ complain price commodities yi ñu wàcca ñu stable market bi ñun loolu lañ expect si Adama Barrow bon ndax loolu moo nekk di xew
Tobaski loo ñu mun a wax si liggéey Adama Barrow since 2021 ma starté ko foofu noonu liggéey yu baax yoo xam ne yow boo jéenee boo ko gisee rek dang dee kontaan mun nga ñu si mention 2 or 3
xanaa bureau yi mu def nationwide sampana ñaata bureau foog na sampana 8 regional bureau waaye gars yi fara feñe every day nga dégg ambulance bi ñëw na mun ta dellu because driver bi daf dee daw over 100 and something kilometers pour war a indi benn patient nga ñëw fekk ferry bi dem da nga taxaw xaar ferry bi nga indi benn patient nga delluwaat ñu la keneen ñëw na jaana ko maakata mu toog ko tampon naga ko mbuka driver bi nee na dama sonn every time ñu gis ko
since 2021
exactly every time ñu gis ko Watson Gambia but nga ci dem sampa national bureau boo xam ne you spend over 40-50 million dollars but waa fara feñe waa bara Fass Ndiago Coy Mbulet Ba area boobu noonu ñoom xaalis bi nga jël sampé ko bureau mënoon nga leen a sampal et classique hospital boo xam ne duñ nit sax ñu dawalee nit ñi ñu jàlla féeri bi di leen indi Banjul so li ma laa lu ma gis lu mu def foog naa is the benefit of the NPP mooy sampa na expensive regional bureaus ba léegi mën nañoo xaalis bi fan la ko jëlee you know while jigéen ñi ba léegi ñu ngi wasin si sareet yi jigéen ñi ba léegi ñu ngi wasin ñaari jigéen ñu ngi wasin si benn lal demal si maternity ward si indi country sauvé bu génnoon ñaata jigéen ñoo dee tu maternity am woot si mun ko suñ ko limee du jeex
so yow
but he can beautify his bureaus mun naa jël bureaus def si ay millions of dollars beautify ko def si ay conference room defar yëpp mu nice tile everywhere but demal fii nii dëkk bu Sidi Ndiaye jógee nga check seen wusin seen lopitaan yi fi ndee wusin nu mel
so foofu naka
so dafa laa woon rek ne Barrow is not here for the Gambian people. He is here for certain sect. He is here to serve the purpose of NPP because ñun NPP rek lañ gis ne ñoom ñoo nekk di benefit o ñoom lañ nekk di sampal ay bureau waaye am na area yu bëri yoo xam ne lopitaan yi mën nañ li moo def si bureau yi na ko def lopitaan si ko
waaye kay si la jamaale dooku ni tata si loolu jibe Transgambia OIC road si loolu dool be je fan wol be santo la fly over me alon kana man soto Gambia so ni to ko bureau doron ne mala tele development noti ya mera multe suso
no wo manke ko woti bang because ila nyinen karo nyanta kakela OIC nyin bota dame OIC
bar ate ya fo wala nyama ko ay OIC doku
no ama
OIC si loolu doku fly over be santo so ya fo wala nya wala no fa dem nyinin ka ko ya ko mi ngi alon ko mon nyanta ka nyinin kan fan okay
mu OIC la project bota bindo ya jeme la project ole sign even though governments continue you start a project ni modo nata aka continue
yeah
but he is just executing project ko mi ngi alon ko ya jeme la nati mu 2014 ajube but in kabring wo watu fobi just name one project mi ngi alon ko Adama Barrow la nati ala man sakunda la nati either road infrastructure or what so and so forth all these road projects are coming for be bota nang ya jeme la OIC project so maybe there are other projects which I am not aware of or which maybe some Gambians are not aware of but I believe I always follow Facebook and other social medias and I believe maybe I cannot per se there is a project that is a national project that reflects on everyone which was brought by Adama Barrow. I cannot say a single project. Maybe you can say Nana because they selected an area around URR and CRR, not all the country, but I am saying a project that reflects on everyone. You know the OIC project, everyone use the roads. I use it, CRR will use it, URR, everyone in the country uses it. But just name a single project. Mingia Lonko, it reflects on all Gambians. Yes. Gambians Beleka use. We saw the ferries. How many millions went into maintenance in the ferry?
Bari ko ferry kuto nata foi ma waj.
Bari ferry kuto aman manke man sakunda la ferry le.
Bar Gambia nol balon iba kulli kan ne iba celebrate kan.
Nyanta ka celebrate because if na yatra man sakunda mingi alon ko ye carte fayaye ama implement no. Andung ayalon ko ama no pour kake. Na yatra Turkian sol nata ka faye ko ila ferry ima sambano batungal na firil nati ngal makoy then
so iti amira nyim feri kutuwabe nasindiro kelan na feri wala terminal wala nyadile
because my own opinion is I don't feel like it is sensible because Gambia is a tax-based economy. Ntol la kodo be ka bonang tax min mang sakunda ka collect. All of our funds come from the tax-based system. Yeah, faham? So ports is a cash cow for the government.
Yeah.
Ferries is cash cow for the government. So it doesn't make sense. Dulal ming yalong ko kodo ka bota nang dameng for mansakunda ka privatize. It doesn't make sense. Just last year, Mola budget support was $4 billion. Ming yalong ko mansakunda la depense mo mansi. Itata danero la banda for $4 billion. So it doesn't make sense. Dulal ming yalong ko aka kudo nati yew ika wo plaso ta ka di foreigner. It doesn't make sense. It just shows you how incompetent Barrow and his government is. Yeah, fam. Because if at all the capacity was there and they know how to handle it. Yeah, Jame was here for how many years? Did he for a ferista ayadi foreigner la? Amake. For a port solta ayadi foreigner la? Amake. And do you know how much Dalasi goes back to the Gambian people? Ila agreement on every $10 Gambia ka Dalasi philosophy. What you wait? The entire port. Every $10 we are getting $2. And molnya taka ming nyini kamu the private company ming yalong ko agreement on sign in your tema. What is the value? What value are they adding? Because we told na ports ngasoto kilianol kana. Hani even if you are a Gambian, you order merchandise through the ports, you pay a lot of money to get your merchandise out. So what value are those people adding? Which will justify the 8 to 2% ratio? These are the questions which Gambians should ask themselves. What value are they adding? The ports last year made about 200 million on profits. So is it sensible for Mansakunda agreement signed with a foreign company whereby Gambia, every $10 a Gambia would pay $2 the male sotola? What value are they adding? What equipment are they bringing? What other clients are they bringing which Gambia was not connected with? These are the questions that we're supposed to ask as patriotic citizens. Yeah, but I believe that agreement is not in the best interest of Gambians. It is not in the best interest for country. It's not in the best interest of any conscious citizen because it doesn't make sense. The numbers don't add up. I can tell you for a fact.
Okay, abaraka bake Tobaski hansande nga sawun janimbe duna politiko kono katu ngani Tobaski bombanta politiko la dina bar nga audit office jibe ye audito bondi je ka transfer minister of trade me yalon ko di ambassade non ko ya fo nyame fo fondinki wol fintita je itala miralo to munati ne lafta ka falen
na miralo to my own opinion. I believe ko kule beje mi yalon ko sign aka fintikan mol ba share kan na Facebook which is the audit report ndol be ngaje ko since 2021 to date there was no published audit report and he was the one tasked pour ka wo kisi roke kaman sa kundala depense jube ika depense nyadi ko do ka dum minto receipt sol aybe kafu nyol ka release
bibedi yala
ya faham but all that I can say is there were other things involved because it doesn't make sense. An auditor general who was hired to serve for 9 years because the contract with the constitution states he's supposed to serve for 9 years. And Purka Bundi, 3 things involved. I believe one is he's mentally he has a mental disorder. He can be removed, or incompetence or corruption. But in all of these 3, he doesn't fall under any of these 3. So why appoint him as a minister first? Secondly, why forcefully remove him after denying the ministerial position? Yeah, fam. But when the audit report was released, that was the time Gambians go, they were trying to force him out. And guess what the individual they were trying to bring in? He's an MPP supporter. And the constitution defined the auditor general office as an independent body. It should not be politically motivated. It should not be politically tainted, or the individual you are appointed should not be politically connected to any political party. It should be an independent, well-integrated individual. Yeah, fam. But ngaje ko, imtolbe ngaje even the state house, the number one office of the country. Dolbe nga corruption ho mingje auditor report ye asil san over $3 million. Ya faham? Those some of the ACs were not even delivered. Wo biji. Ya faham?
Dol filita.
And the other thing is they also say the auditor general also captured that over $2.6 billion on payables, which they cannot see the vouchers, they cannot see the receipts, they cannot see nothing. $2.6 billion over 80 something accounts, government accounts. The government doesn't even want to deliver the accounts to tell people how much was in the account.
Jolle
botaji. You see the mining royalties, over $200 million. They cannot tell people where the money is and how it was paid. Kulungol mi yalong ko ikabonang banta kana ka nyel mutaja. Yeah, 6 were captured. And they were fined. One was fined 15 million, the other was fined 10 million, the others paid 1.5 million. The other that was fined 6 million paid 2 million. The other 4 million they cannot see where the money was paid in. So all of this just shows you, how corrupt the system is, and also over $110 billion cannot still be traced on how it was expended from 2021, 2022, 2023 to 2024. Could you imagine? $110 billion, my sister. That can transform our lives, my sister. They don't know how the money was expended. It cannot be collaborated. 110 billion, 3 years. So we all see what was the reason behind. They were trying to forcefully remove Mr. Sisi.
Abaraka bake Tobaski tumo menadro nga kudul kacha banko la kuota dron se yela mo kotenke ngata politiko la Tobaski kama njilal Tobaski ngalon nu UDP le andu ngalon ko funding ke nyaton ko la mati UDP Tobaski ye mu position no hol nu UDP janim bendu no konoto.
Yeah, UDP nga position jama holje from because until the UDP kafo kono for since I can say inception.
Yeah.
From my family. We inherited the party from them since 96. We are in the
Yeah,
since 96. Coming up, as I was growing, I served in different positions from ward level, constituency, regional to national youth committee.
Okay.
And by the time I was resigning, Benung, the regional youth leader of the UDP in the region of KM, regional B, funding Kilbe Ben Common. I was their head.
Yeah.
And also, within the National Youth Committee, I have other comrades like Haji, Habib Sise, Fulus, we serve in different various committees and capacities. But just to, buttress on it, UDP is a place whereby, we were all fighting day in, day out to see a regime change. Based on an ideology. But covering, what tata for a certain point, we also what happened.
Okay, we also what's happened. Being ajele menketa kabirin kuol tata for ayela mata. So Tobaski tumo mena dronko ya fanyameng atol kuluta nsafa luta UDP le alkal kuluta UDP le for sign kuol tata yela mata kara kilingol. Tobaski mune atene ibota UDP found.
No, be centering on one thing, which is principles. Ngajeko ndolbe ngabang college. And to my own understanding on politics and democratic norms and values, ngajeko, there is no party in this country to create one individual or to be centered on one individual. The party was centered to bring change. Yafaham. A system more falling. But it went to a time, I saw that the party's former prior principles, it doesn't align with my current principles.
How? Nyadi?
Yeah, I can say nyadi in a way whereby we put the country first, not individuals or parties, because at the end of the day, parties are created for nation building, not self-individuals. Then if our ideas varies, it's better I move to an area whereby my wills and aspiration and ideas aligns. Wala tinongo matunga move in peace.
So ilo kumo kono ni nga fahamba ka walem ko kulebe patio nyun kono me yalon ko tobaski ana nyongolu wala me nyafa fo finita patio nyun kono ni nata la flag bi ara selectionol because ko be nata wala ni nata flag bi ara selectionola ngajele kabiri ye tombondiro ke motanen kilin kabirin saferol ke ta motanen kili ya tombon talibe wala kono lawyer Bori Ture honorable Usenu Dabo and others many yalon ko be safero kele Amadou Sane nyolu kaje ko kanyim place wonyini but kabiri nata fo nyato ngaje talib withdrawta before the selection onying talib withdrawta amurta koma ako kuma kango memfa ya kango dila already so alafta ka wala maintain comme foro nyanta ka kango maintain but ngaje at the same time talib resign ta la position oto fo ma mira kula be jeme yalon ko wala be atol be kam faring atol nin talib wala al withdraw pati nyon kon wala al jikita ko talib pati nyon ta tombona wala na al be withdraw ta ka bo pati nyon kon.
No, it is not centered. Ko be tatanyola. What I want to buttress more on is
Okay.
The party has a process. Mingi along ko igawo process ole tamandi nibe selection okela, and it is very 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 important to understand how the democratic model works within the party.
Okay.
Yeah, faham? Because prior, I can say in 2018, kabring mayor Daliba Ben Bensouda be
Binala.
mayor
Yeah, nyinila.
mayor candidate nyinila. It was different. Yeah, faham? Candidates applied. All the regions select their delegates from all constituencies. 10 male, both 5 males and 5 old females and
Including the
5
youths.
youth males, and they were mixed. It was gender balanced.
Yeah.
So 20 were selected from all constituencies, and they had about 14, 15 candidates. But he became victorious. He was elected through a transparent, inclusive process. Yeah, faham? But ngajiko, to my own opinion, I'm not speaking on behalf of anyone.
Yeah.
To my own opinion, ngajiko, a similar process should have been implemented because monatin na partiol ka membership card di members la. It is not just to beautify your pocket. It is not just to say, hey, ngapa UDP la or party la membership
card.
It doesn't work like that. The party has a function. The function is nayatara. You want to apply as a candidate is part of the criteria that you have to bring forth, and also nibe delegates to select for such as to choose any of the leaders, be it mayoral or constituency MPs or the flag bearer. Should have been similar process. But what happened was an internal selection, not an open, transparent, democratic selection process. And I went to party leader when he invited us as you been 5-6 days prior to elections, and I told him straightforward that I believe the process is not the right process. I told him, party leader, Joe Biden invited you, I believe 1 year ago or less, to attend the convention for the Democrats when they were electing Kamala Harris. You were a member that was identified globally to attend, and through that process, delegates were selected from all corners of America to elect their flag bearer, which is Kamala Harris. I told him, why is it that the party can spend $65 million for Congress to do what? Elect an executive body. But the most important seat, which is the flag bearer, the individual that's supposed to lead the nation, the individual that's supposed to come from the party, it is the most important position in the party. Why is it that we don't use a democratic, transparent process? Instead of selecting a 7 select committee members going from region by region taking papers. I told him that doesn't align with the best practice, and that doesn't align with what we call ourselves. A democratic process means democracy is a borrowed word from Latin, from Greek, demos kratos, people and power. So how can you say that you are implementing people's power whilst you excluded the people that has the power to do a decision or to make decision on behalf of the grassroots, the people? It doesn't make sense.
So
who elected the executive?
okay.
The same people.
Grassroots.
The grassroots. So why exclude the grassroots? So I told him, we had village committees, we have ward committees, we have constituency regional. Those committees, their main purpose was to collect delegates if this date arises, but not to, do it in an authoritarian manner. I told him, plain. He told me, Sibi, our democracy is premature because Sitafa left when we elected Talib. Jaita left when we elected Talib. Papanjaya left when we elected Talib. I told him those three individuals are three individuals. But when they left, how many kafos came? Political parties, people will leave, but people will also come. So I don't believe that justifies the party to go forth by excluding the grassroots, whereby majority of the grassroots are with their membership card and they are bona fide party supporters. They are the same people that will contribute every month. Those are the people that funds activities of the party. So why is it that they are excluded? So I feel like, the party is not being fair and the party is not being acting democratically as its acronyms, the UDP. So I told him plainly, it doesn't align with what I expect from the party since I was young. But when he told me that the democracy within the party is premature, that triggered me to resign from the party, because I believe since 96 we were following Dabo, expecting, a democracy, that is premature. Then it means that our wills and aspirations and the hopes and dreams that we were having for the party were all along premature. So it was that day things were bright and clear that I am not following a democratic party. That was the day I designed and wrote my resignation letter without informing anyone. Yeah.
Okay. Talib ko ya fa nyame itela mira roto wala la jiro to ya jaka kata wala nyama anyanta tala nyama man tasilo la kumota ta nata but jama fa namba fo kanko because ila comment section no kabiria populist ko media ya catch up Tobaski be resign na le nika comment section no to follow iko why Tobaski be resign na ninga yata Tobaski le be no information no di kan nunko nyumolu be lafta party lo kuoto when you come to 2020 la Congress Makati comment section oto yaji jela jama ya safeko itabe nunga fo kanko Talib anala timo molu ipareta la puruka party ni undermine kaja ko ka party lo ka against UDP. Muna mwela miroti watu.
No, those are people's opinion.
Yeah.
In any democratic transition. Myself covering Janjang Burela Congress OT, I attended the caucus, whereby every party member attended. There is no place Mingia Longo or no individual who will come and say I was part of a group that was saying Talib was working for creating a political party. I believe the aspiration of his own political will in regards to creating a political party, that is recently. So I believe that statement is premature, and always in a political discourse you will hear all sorts of allegations. What I can say for a fact, if I was part of a group that were doing or sending those type of messages, then it doesn't make sense for me to resign and step aside when I see that my wills and aspirations are not in line with the current, democratic, how to call it, decisions the party is doing. We are politicians. People will say all sorts of things, but we always remain focused on the agenda. Kajeko, we put the country first, and Kajeko, any individual that has the principles that aligns with ours, we will surely follow that individual to the letter.
Okay, Hansa Andorong, Lomela Ninjibe, La Albe Gambia Talents TV, the Jibeka, Ntel Bale Jandorong, Fatu Jadama, and in Tobaski, be political maladomandi by Tobaski beside Dola Sai. Tobaski, Koyafanyam, Kamola Mira role, because now Nita Masani and Hansa and Jamaba Mira Loko, Willem Tonyati, Mulbe Men Safeka, Mulbe Men Foka. So Nina Resita Gambia Talent Galon Kombe, Kol Kachala, Furifan and Sassani and the animal salo, member caring and in Tobaski Lodula Moneti. So jama fanamba fo kanko UDP de Tobaski ke Tobaskiti ni ajibe ya itole atinata ay kansulo ya soto ito layatina UDP layatina Tobaski nin talibiyo nyolo so Tobaski ate mole ko ate mole time yalon ko follow amam bankoje na bankoje nun ate mufla be stedal ka kelo continent di fo janalbe mansa kunda sotol wala Tobaski jama ala ku jama be talibla ka sponsor ibe muna follow.
No, anyways, just to make it more clear, because people will just, people will just be saying all sorts of things.
Well, sometimes
okay. So as for myself, I can say UDP, what I did for UDP did not even do quarter of what I participated in the party. But, that is what is expected from us. Because Kapring Benungje, Kebal, the elders were open. They showed a high degree of respect.
Okay.
And they trusted us. The trust was always there, So, Ntafalako, UDP and K, what I am today. Because at the end of the day, UDP UDP buka kododinna.
Buke
balloon, And also the elections. When we are during the time of elections, UDP doesn't give anyone funds. Kifoko, you are on the party's tag. This is a campaign money. Go and do your campaigns. I funded my campaigns independently. Talib not. He sponsored some of my posters design. Not only myself, all the 19 candidates. He gave us posters and other campaign materials as required. But all the other expenses were from our pockets. Ntolle kana kodo budi kana campaign fund. Even though may do support on other individuals, but I can say 70% to 50% of the expenses come from our own pocket. So Minka Wofo, they should just remember that we are all young individuals. And what the question that we should ask ourselves is, what type of country do we want? Because ni ba follow ko ntelom alikarto fayne nga banko mara and iba follow ko Barrow should serve for 2 terms and iti ila fango man ka man
pare term limit so
ka implement janing banko be ibi banko deal.
But
so okay. How will you see that? Yeah, faham. You are going for 5th term and you are saying Barrow is serving for 2 terms. He should not continue for a 3rd time, even though the constitution says he has the right to. This is Barrow's 2nd term, he should not continue. But Dolby Jaming Yalonko, they are political parties, they are going for 5th or 6th term. I believe any political party Ming Yalonko, anything that you do within the political party, your policies, your programs, your agenda should align with what the Gambians are expecting from the political party. Not to say, you want a country, a democratic transition whereby everything will be democracy and you are not implementing, you are not even practicing what you are preaching.
But Tobaski nali ofo aliyajele ka respond men wolem ko aliye political party jumali je dunia kono me yalon ko ay term limit soto. So ebe men fo itol ka respond walel because ni ajibe last time dole ya fono ako aliye political party jumale je ka foko by force anyanta term limit sotolal because wol manke mansa kundati anyanta preso ala mansa kundala ka wala anyanta luwala dunda damenti yalon ko ni momoe 2 term ke mansa kunda kono dron president yale te nyanta jila baral amanyana ke la preso ti oppositional kan ka fo ko anyanta term limit sotolal la patio kono.
Yeah, wala tinna ntol ngana movement of create movement ming yalonko, it has all the solutions. If you see Gambia since PPP to date, all the political parties are centered on an individual. All political parties, Kabring Jamano Lawatu, Fobi, Ndulbing Ajeko, Kabring Jawara Bolata, Botam PPP Fatal, APRC Fanan Kabring Iya Botaje, APRC Mantara, APRC like they were. Kabring, NPP was formed as well. Only Adama Barrow. UDP, Dabo, to date. So, Unite for Change is a party that is centered on changing the things that have been lingering on the political space. For how many years Gambians are saying we need term limit? So Unite for Change is coming for that.
So make sure
that term limit is a must, and also the movement is not going to be centered on an individual. It is a movement by the people and for the people, and it was created by the people. Yeah, faham. It is not centered on one individual. Can make sure all walks of life, all individuals in the country, despite your affiliation or whatnot, will make sure that the needs and aspirations of the people are part of the project. Can make sure all what the Gambians are crying and yearning for will be implemented. So Unite for Change is calling on the youth, the elderly, every individual within the country. This movement among political parties at the moment, or as we are going along, within months we will register it as a political party. But to just give you a benefit of the doubt, the day this movement was launched, and when we buttress on points being along walmuna agenda, we see that over 5,000 people registered online. We created over 5,000 forms which have been distributed, and people are calling from left, right, and center to demand for more forms. Gambians, they know that this is the right cause and this is the right route for a real change. Not these political parties, because they don't have, the wheels at heart to implement what they have been preaching about, because they are not practicing the democracy that the Gambians are yearning for day to day.
Okay, Tobaski, Hansa Hindolam, ngana movement to aliyalong, I think last Sunday, me yalonko masala mul findite na te dan kalma aliyala launchin ke. But ngaje Sunday Monday ngaje ko mem SMT. Me yalonko ke bambandi mbala ni natala movement o kono ala audio be circulate kanne diam to kula men yalonko wala be movement o kono ana ala jikila tayo fanan tandile movement o la tanyala fay dol kumandi tolo ko al nyanta wolu bayla movement o kono le na lafta lola al simfulo la wala na lafta tala nyato so ye MS la ko jenyadil an yala diamo ya jenyadil.
Yeah, MS ala diamo I was even watching the live bolu bari ngaje ko yalo momi yalong ko anata ala fangoye malong I don't know how to frame it ay ala fango samba
afango la fan samana
ay ala fango samba nang mo makumandi afango la mudota ay birkamun kulno mafaji. But Unite for Change is not a place whereby money is distributed. Yafa, it's a place whereby we bring hands on deck. It's a collective movement. Any decision that has been made by the movement is a collective decision, from the grassroots to the decision makers. We have what we call division of labor when it comes to anything that has been done within the movement. So it's not a movement whereby, just like any other movement or any so-called political parties that have already been launched, whereby monies are given to everybody. It's not like that. So for SM, I understand his frustration, and I believe it is all centered on Kodokuo, because he was expecting that, the movement is a place whereby Ninata, Molka Kodo Dila, or Kafuel or Murungi, for you to buy your fuel and be going up and down. We don't operate like that. Anybody coming to the movement, you buy your fuel, yela kredigo sang, you do your things, because it is a movement.
Kamul Sabana.
Ya fam kamul sambana. Momo mingi along ko inata movement okong ya je social media. Itole fang samba je. Mobuke fuels sang molla de. Mobuka kredigo sang molla de. It is a movement. To show you the success ratio is very high, because all the people you are seeing, they are the one who bring who bring themselves or who brought themselves voluntarily. So it is a movement that is centered on how can we change the current situation? How can we, build a Gambia that is constructive towards what people are expecting from the political heads? But we all see that, even the current government is not centered on, solving the current the current hard issues, which is, the daily skyrocketing of commodities, youth migration, security and other things. So the movement is coming for a real change. Can make sure Gambia will be a Gambia for the Gambians and all Gambians, despite of tribe or where you are from. So it is a movement for change, It is a movement, I believe. People are buying the agenda. And we believe come 2026, inshallah, the movement will finalize its political ambition. And I believe the communications team will announce it. And we will do the needful.
Okay, Hansa ndoron demanding SM la koto kadala live jam fatale ko fo ba jibe kanyame SM keta multi before selectiono be kela bayo ko afon la fan na fena yalon ni damen to mandi ya moy abukataje so maybe ajelo ko movement no mu fenati me yalon ko be falindiro men nyinin kan ito le ba dila no molla so wala na ya fan na fena jam barana ta men fo walam ko ay molle jiji men yalon ko ni nyi masakunda jibe ani masakunda men tambita ni ko felta dro molle wol feli ni katale yesusu ni banta dro yebula je yebordula so mo kilingole ay wolle je talib bala anata kay jikila tay bati ko talib fanam bita silo menna wala ni nyi molu babale bita silo menna abe mantoro ko na fela wala atolier movement no lo men kan altina wasotala because men yalon ko comme ali an kafanu nyame wala mol kafanu nyame Adama Barrow ni men bota UDP itata NPP say yewol nyorondi le mo kutol la babala mol ka wala fa bantala so afana na jero to ko ata UDP talib ni men be bola UDP men jointa wol kan wol fana be wol nyorondi la le etol yetar nyato so men be UDP wol yetar ko ba mun etala jero te je anila miro te je
that is just those are just speculations and
so mala miro let
and he is not even saying the truth because coming before young this is a movement palaso mandi mol I believe today they will make an announcement in regards to who is even the focal spokesperson. Yeah, it's just a movement. Palaso mandi mo la multi lola ka foko intelam kari, intelam treasurer, intelam accountant or intelam fenko. Position mandi mola. So how can he say that the people that are next to Talib are people that sucked? Yeah.
So why? Okay.
That, and they are the ones there. People mubota UDP wala unyantaka na next to His Excellency Talib. Because can you identify any individual who is next to Talib or who is very close to Talib that was called by the Janneh Commission? Is there any individual? Ako tombong si Dimingfo.
Yeah, lofto wala nyin ka why as tombong select mol be kono ako tombong nyanta bayla.
Yalong bol nyanta ko tonya fole. Lungo bije mingi yalong ko Janneh Commission ay tombong kumandi.
But in local government ato fintita je.
No, ala to fintita bola ay clear ko Senator Martin was lying because
but still now Senator Belori nda ma fana Belori wolto. Yeah, then go ahead.
We went up to the commission. He gave his statement. He wanted to testify. They told him no, it's unnecessary. We know the lady is not speaking the truth. She is lying.
So commission only off.
Yeah, awful. He gave them his statement and he even released a press statement.
Okay.
Yeah. So Tombong is not a contractor. He doesn't have a company that does coal storage, or he's a consultant. He's a media consultant. He was the former Director General of GRTS and a former ambassador to the United States. There is no kisi-kisi. Mingi yalonko aketa nying bangko kang. From Janneh Commission to any commission mingi yalonko ala to fintitaje. Ay kudu tawala ay feng mingi yalonko aman ay kudule sunya.
Okay.
Woman, so any other individual you can name.
What about Alukora?
Alukora is not.
Then I come na say na Martin you kumol memfo. Wal mu fenet me alonko fake news la muiti fo.
The commission knows better. The commission.
But if I'm in jail always.
That's why I'm telling you the facts. Yeah, long even the Unite movement, la communications or na the way we do our things is all centered on facts and truth. We are different. We are different from many political parties. If you ask them hard facts or hard questions, it normally used to be tough for them to give you the right answers. This movement it is centered on truth and factual. Yeah, Ali Kora na ela kontrago soto KMC. Ali Kora was in KMC well before Talib was mayor. Since yang kubakoli watu. So how can you center Ali Kora's contracts? You want to center it on one individual? It doesn't make sense. By then she was the CEO. Why did he pay that contract? When she knows that Ali Kora is not the owner of the company, he borrowed somebody's registrar. That is not for the mayor to decide.
But Akama alone.
No, I alone. Because the account you are paying the money, you will know that the name is not Ali Kora. So why pay the money there? Yeah, fam. We are not dodging from any question. Any question that has been asked shall be answered on the rightful way. Because we don't want to do politics. Mingi alonko kasi telel bala o kasi radio station or kawuliyafo. That is not our intention. Ndol to nyamba fula ngaje nyame. Ya faham. Wala be bang ko nying sambala nyato.
Okay, jama ba fo kanko ta adi bula yala movement lo wala yala parti lo ni commission nata commission recommendation lo ke ba banna le etere jero e mun je woto ko talibi ba banna
ibaban on what condition? Commission obe commission. Ye min kisi robe ke. Dula be je min yalon ko yaje ko talibi ko sunyaro ke. Aya dala sikling sunya.
Ni nyininka.
Be nyininka. Dole ba jube kan.
Ya. Bar ngay nyini sante ta nyininka.
There is no day or such a day min yalon ko commissioner ye dala soje min yalon ko talib la ta KMC la keso kon la aran keso kon. Woman soto. So iba ban la from politics or iba ban la from holding government positions through that commission. It should be centered on evidence, centered on factual facts. The commission doesn't have those facts because they went left, right, and center, even cut off up to his bank accounts. They went even beyond their powers because the term of reference of the commission is to kakisroke kansul la nafulo kadung daming. Amamankete mayo la nafulo kadung daming. But they went beyond. With all that, the mayor was very calm in giving them the access to get whatever information they want to get from him because he have nothing to hide. Yeah, if I told it was myself, I would even give them access to my bank statement because it's not part of the process. Their term of reference is the council's accounts and their contractual dealings, not the individual, not Safaro, not Baby Mariam Pampas, not his companies. Yeah,
so you don't all be it all.
Idunta left, right, and center. Iman bututoje. Even kudoming yalonko mona takadani ay wokudo ta ka diala pour ay Ministry of Agriculture la ko ta ay keje. They even brought it up to think that they can taint the minds or the narrative within the public space. But people don't buy it. Because who knows Talib knows that. So ne jub ken gënu ko jub. Liggéey moo ko tax a jóg ñun ñëpp ay liggéeykat la liggéey moo ñu boole ak moom su nekkoon ay tapalekat wala ñu nekk ay luubalkat amaana discussion bi sax duñ ko am duñ am fit sax pour ne dañoo taxawal movement bon gis nañ ne fuñ ñu oo pour sangu kenn duñu fa gën a set parce que système biñ put in place pour war a def kisi yooyu noonu biñ demee dañ gis ne yaa xam ne 200 millions si ngelaw boo xam ne mën nañ ko jox lopitaan yi wala sampale ko gars yi fas njaga coyi lopitaan bu baax ñin war a toppuñ leen gis nga li ñuy faax olof yi ñu ne kenn du ko jeex audit report bi passé bi lan la feeñal 110 billion boo xam ne nguuri Adama Barrow xamuñ fuñ ko dugal loolu la ñu war a kisi loolu la ñu war a laajte xaalis bu fan la dugal
so quand même fo Adama Barrow na la man sakunda fa commission ñanta lolé ni kisi
yeah, it's a criminal government because at the end of the day 110 billion in a tax-based economic system in a tax-based country man foogoon naa ne time bi mbedd bi waroon naa fee step 110 billion dollars. 110 billion dollars. Lolu société our total annual budget for 2019, 2020, 2022. If you combine them, it's our 3 years expenses. 110 billion dollars. Ñom nit ñi ba tay mënu ñu xam auditor ci ñu ne xamuñ fan la xaliss bi dugal. Ay accounts yo xamne government bi moko create. Hein? Te xamoon naka la xaalis di dugg ak xaalis léegi de mining royalties over 200 million fan la dugg so these are the things that we should put forth because these are factual findings by auditor generals you get it but when you come to the commission you will need to bring facts you will need to bring hard evidence pour que one individual disqualify but that evidence they don't have it. Yeah, so what they can bring out is a certificate ka faye ko you are clean continue doing your
so alia alba expect konko wala be dilala okay Tobaski wato fela ben jam fa kam programme mu 1 hour lati ku action fula ben bula jani bi tambela fela kenyen ka wala
dem ci olaf
Okay. Okay, let's go. Tobaski dinañ dem am naa ñaari question balaa ma laa bàyyi kon que programme bi 1 hour la tey bu ma doon jéena suma kër maa ngi doon dem fi nga xam ne mooy Tanje stafara Tujere maa ngi dugga moto from Bunduntu Serakunda bu ngi eggee si jumaa bi ñaari nit nekka di xëccoo ne ñi jaamoo tali fenkele yalo Adama Barrow le hani de Adama Barrow malo de ye jamo ñu sponsor le so Tobaski be jamo dala abota nan Serakunda le ye kulon jamo la lo ñaato
no jamo bi anyways it is donors so the Messi president so the Messi state house page bi di nga gis ne mu ngi tànk donors yi so it is donor funded but through the president's office mu nekk juma boo xam ne
mashallah
baax na si réew mi ni ñëpp man suma bopp si juma boobu la dee jullee because benn kër moo ma séparé ak juma bi waaw di wax ne rek donors yooyu noonu li ñoo def baax na place yi nga xam ne soxla ñuy juma ak place yi nga xam ne jaamukaay yàlla lañ ko baaxul noonu is good mu yóbbu fa those type of projects because am na ñu gën a soxla projects yooyu si yeneen areas yi because soo demee toog nga round dëkk bi am na place yooyu dem dafa la leer ne ñu gën a soxla juma yooyu waaw because lu mu bon structure mu fa woon waxuma ne bëgguñ ñu waa Serekunda bëgguñ lu baax you know dañu war a gestuwaat yi nga xamante ne ni they are the far end of the country te seen juma yi taxu ko lii noonu da ngaa nekk di julli si taw yi mu lig ak yeneen gëm naa ne développement bi ak donors yi nañ try mu centralize not ñu ko yóbbu areas yoo xam ne they are trying to win political points you know
Tobaski last question iko Tobaski abe place ñu non la wala na bularin talib noma ajikita ko ni talib ganyeta 2026 abe place wala mutala wala abe president maybe fam abe minister place de wala ambassador place de yala so be muna follow moli ko Tobaski be bularin talib noma because of position
what
position
2023 was I given position? I'm just giving a simple example. And the only coordination, I was the one doing the coordination and everything. You know, we are not working as a movement for something.
Okay.
You know, if it's Nayatara Palasole, Ajube, I could have maintained my position in UDP as the youth leader. The next National Assembly, I contest for National Assembly.
Yeah.
But ñun dañ gis Gambia first. Ndul nga Gambia la je. Not thinking about yourself, but thinking about the Gambia as a whole. How can we have a better system? How can we have a stable marketing? How can we have price control? How can we have a better education system? How can we have a proper electricity supply? These are the things that we are all yearning for, not self-interest or so on and so forth. That is not the main objective of the movement. The main objective is how can we transform lives and make the Gambia great again. Yeah.
Wala mo na quick so not men yalon ko ngeso do Tobaski bi nga fa na biabe dula bayo so wa ko mo defal na problem ti do man ni ba tentu balam ba jeyila ay wato men ta do rom be ngalon nako talan kilinin talan fulakata talan sabakan samala be kerinu Gambia jan surtout Serakunda samala be nun jambara yala wato be ta do ka bulakane dan kuma nay ka cha soto anin ka senen dir ke kula men yalon ko wolle be keri me Tobaski janim be bula drum mun mula kuma la bangoti ya marro Gambia funding kewolu anin ali ñu movement kuto men lo kaje ko ka sambanyato
bay mo si olof
no problem
di santa setan kati ak flow si nga xamne dañ dé topa GTV di santa sa entire staff sa cameraman yi ñi nekk ci technical part bi seen borom GTV mo tam ñu ko santa diko gërëm gis ne yeen tamit da ngeen dé follow all events seetu leen ne government la seetu leen opposition you guys are definitely independent loolu tamit mooy bu réew kanam gis nañ fi media house yoo xam ne dañ dee tànn programme si de def ak ñun de o ak ñan lañ dee put seen plateforme si so ban leneen li ma gën a wax mooy di wax nit ñi rek ne movement bi commencé nañ ko di si o Gambien yëpp fu waaye munti di nekk si Gambia bi o abroad foo munti di nekk mun nga dem unitedforchange.gambia.com nga register ba pare tam dinaa joxe téléphone number yi gars yi mun nañoo contact nga balal ma
no problem
8689148 suñ fekkee soxla nañ forms mun nañoo contact tamit QCell number bi 3428511 3428511 3428511 am na official line tamit 2265329 2265329 2265329 fu gars yi munti di nekk si biir réew mi nombre yi soo leen koolee dinañ la wax naka ngaa mun a jotee si forms yi gars register because right now ñu ngi dem to 15,000 forms yoo xam ne jox nañ ko already so the movement is going bigger and bigger and bigger day in day out pour wax rek ne ñun movement bi ñu ko starté demoon di ut nit ñi ñoo nekk di indi seen boppa waaw pour mun la nag ne ki ko jiite xam na li moo def dafa jub liggéey moo ko tax a jóg Gambia moo ko ñor te dafa bugg a Gambia boo xamante ne ni ñun ñëpp dañoo indi suñu loxo from the grassroots upward ñu xam ne lii ñun ñoo ko moom benn nit moomul ko movement la képp ku ñëw jiital su taxawee ñaari yoon dafa puusu keneen ñëw muy councilor muy député muy chairman muy mayoral tout term limit bokk na si agenda bi ak naka la Gambia di demee si kanam ba pare bottom up approach la nekk di use because dañ gis ne nit ñi power belongs to the people so people bi dañu war a bokk in the decision making process moo tax from the grassroots upward so ñu ngi oo ñëpp ndaw yi mag ñi especially ndaw yi tamit because njiit bi ki bugg a jiital ndaw la te movement bi tamit ndaw yi ñu ëpp a mag yi so waaye mag yi tam am nañ ci cër ni ñoom tamit baax nañ ci réew baax nañ ci kër ni kër bu fi nekk dëkk bu fi dox mag yee ko doxal wante dañ jiital ndaw yi jàpp seen mbagg yi gis ne di leen jubanti di leen gàgganti di leen won yoon bi nañ leen war a jaaree naka la ñu war a doxalee di la sant di la gën
Tobaski bala nga close nga ne power belongs to the people est-ce que su ne coalition movement bi dina si bokk
su ne coalition waaw movement bi ñoom ñuy ñëw sa bugg a coalition we are on coalition talks as we are speaking movement bi mu ngi def loolu
even guy tànnun Talib as a flag bearer for the coalition di ngeen bokk si coalition
mu ngi am parties yoo xam ne approach nañ ne dañ bugg a coalition and they are doing the needful gars yaa ngi ñi war a wax ñoom ñi ngi wax ñoom te naa la wax ne 2026 movement bi dafa jël réew mi niñ gisee momentum bi nii insha allahu rabbi 2026 will have a new president insha allah.
Thank you very much, Tobaski. 2026, we will have a new president. One and a new president is going to be Talib Ahmed Bensouda. Kon nag di la gërëm di la sant di la wax ne jërëjëf si sa waxtu boo xam ne bàyyi nga ko nga ñu uñu si ñu Gambia Talents TV seen mbokk la Fatou Jadama ku ma téye si caméra bi mooy Binta Njie ak Ibrahima Sagnan di leen gërëm di leen sant di leen wax thank you so much ba beneen bés inshallah ak next guest.